Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about Ace of Swords today and my Kate Bush song choice, which is quite a fun song, I think. And I chose a fun song probably because I think the swords in general tend to be treated in a very serious, quite a gloomy fashion sometimes. So I wanted something, to present a different energy. This is the Thoth. It shows clarity, inspiration. I like the fact that the sword seems to be floating in the sky or something, or it gives a sense that maybe this is an idea or something which isn't fully formed. It hasn't come fully down to earth yet. So this is the moment of like initial inspiration. Here we have Sweet Twilight, and she is almost like a Queen of Swords character, I think. So maybe she suggests that the truth, it might be an uncomfortable truth or something, she's cutting through an illusion or a delusion or something. But as I said, thinking of those things in mind, I still wanted something that was more playful. This is from Margaret Peterson. I think it's my favourite, one of my favourite cards in the deck, and possibly the reason why I bought this tarot deck in the first place, because I liked this fresh view of the swords as feathers. I like the fact this is a peacock feather, and peacocks, I mean, if you look at the symbolism of peacocks through different cultures, it's quite interesting. There are lots of different ideas. One myth I particularly like, I don't think it is a myth. I think peacocks, or maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but peacocks are actually able to kill snakes, which I think is amazing. You see this beautiful bird and it has this vicious side, which I suppose ties in with the swords idea. And then there's that myth that the beauty of their feathers comes from the poison that they swallow from the serpent. And I love that kind of idea of the transformation. Which gives us, again, if we think of air as ideas, as thoughts, the positive side that we can have a moment of clarity or seeing things differently, which can change, lead to huge changes in our life. And I'm a Gemini. I like the air cards, and Geminis are curious, tend to be, and playful, often don't take things seriously, perhaps should take things more seriously sometimes and take on more responsibility. I think there is that danger with Geminis, but yeah, I wanted something. And also I think sometimes, there are some notable exceptions like Deviant Moon, for example, but sometimes tarot decks can feel very serious and lack humour. And humour is a part of the human experience, isn't it? It's how we cope with things, actually, especially in really challenging times. And we are in challenging times now. Right, so this is my Kate Bush card. It is Them Heavy People, and this is her, when she's dancing. If you haven't seen her dance to this, I think it adds an important kind of dimension or interpretation to this song. It is a playful dance. She's not really, it's called Them Heavy People, but it's not heavy, it's like the opposite. And I liked the lyric, they opened doorways that I thought were shut for good, which gives a sense of swords as an opportunity, as something about to happen, we've got the window or the doorway there, haven't we? The song quotes Jesus, which I'll talk about these illustrations in a minute, and the other thinker it quotes is Gurdjieff. There is an interesting, I won't read it, but in this book, which I talked about briefly for the King of Pentacles, I think, was it King of Pentacles? Anyway, in that book, there is an interview, there was a phone-in where someone asked Kate Bush about Gurdjieff. Seemed to be someone that had read a lot of Gurdjieff and was hoping for a deep spiritual conversation about Gurdjieff's ideas and thoughts. And Kate Bush basically said, well, you know, it's not something I feel I can talk about or know enough about Gurdjieff. And I've tried to find out more about him. I've even read 3 Dangerous Magi, which I'll put the link for that as well. And I feel I'm no clearer on what Gurdjieff was about, except he seemed to have used humour as a way to challenge people's egos. So he would have these banquets, I think he called them banquets, and there'd be lots of drink. And Gurdjieff would then, I was going to say pick on someone, but it did almost feel like picking on someone. He would, you know, and make fun of them, give them nicknames. The humour was quite cruel, but it was all about, I suppose, the biggest obstacle to enlightenment can be our pride and taking ourselves too seriously. And so he was this, and I think Alan Watts called him like an old rascal. He was an old rascal, Gurdjieff. He was like the fool again in the, Shakespeare. So there's definitely a lot of fool energy in this card as well. And truth to power, sometimes you speak truth to power by using jokes, by using humour, that's how you get someone's guard down sometimes. So the pictures that I've chosen, I couldn't find anything I wanted to choose for Gurdjieff. So I used this book, so I'll just show you this. So it's the Lion Graphic Bible. And what I love is it doesn't just stick to the scripture. It is like a story, a retelling of the Bible stories. And I just took things from the New Testament, which showed doorways, because I felt, here this is from scripture. So this, which I'm sure lots of you have heard before. So I say, ask and it will be given to you. Not look and you'll find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. So again, about kind of enlightenment or whatever, or finding a new way of thinking, finding a new doorway, a new passageway, new way of life. I particularly love this one because this is Joseph and Mary. So maybe I'll show you. And Joseph says, "Who's that at the door at this hour?" And Mary says, "I haven't asked anyone to call. I was about to bathe the baby, and the baby is Jesus. See who it is with you." And the people at the door are the 3 wise men. And I loved that it's such a mundane portrayal of the nativity story, isn't it? And I loved that, and a little bit of humour there too. Finally, I think, and I'll try and find a link for this, I cannot really think of this song without also thinking of the Alan Partridge rendition, which I will try and link. Although if you absolutely love this song, I warn you, it might change your view of it a little bit. But apparently Kate Bush herself liked Alan Partridge's performance. So so it's this is a fun energy, a fun card. Let me know what you think. You might have a very different view of the Ace of Swords, or a different song in mind. As I said, I think this could have been Page of Swords, but I think of Page of Swords more as an apprentice, someone who has started on their journey. But this is someone just sort of playing with ideas, exploring, and not taking anything too seriously at this stage. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.